Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. This timing from EA is honestly hilarious. One day ago, we're talking about how frustrated we are with Shapeshifters content and how this game of FC25 has felt, and the very next day, we have leaks that EA is bringing icons into FC26 that we all want. These are insane leaks. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen them. If you haven't, we're going to look over them today, but there's also something I have to add here because nobody's talking about this one aspect to these icon leaks and the pre-order leaks for FC26 that might just go together. We're going to discuss that, and we have a new interesting turn on Shapeshifters content and the next team coming into packs with another leak, and a guaranteed Shapeshifter Team 2 pack is probably dropping today too. We're going to talk about that and a little bit of the market. If you guys are excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Of course, let's start things off by looking back at yesterday's content on Tuesday 1st with the evolution that we had leaked previously, but it's actually creating cards that a lot of people are putting into their teams. It's very unique, guys. It's called the Sideline Superstar, and for 50,000 coins, being max 92 overall, it doesn't look that great. Just from the requirements, you're like, oh, max 2 positions, it's very limiting. But then you look at the boost, and it's creating some very unique cards. Of course, this evolution is supposed to be creating a card that you might use at left wing or right wing, because it gives those positions, it gives playstyle pluses like quick step plus first, ping pass second, and technical plus third that would actually help you as a wing player. But when you take a look at some of the cards that come out of this, you're going to want to keep using them as a center mid or a CDM. Take a look at like this grassroots Conte that I have in the club. 97 dribble and 95 pace, and then quick step plus added to a center mid CDM card. That is very unique. Not many center defensive mids have that high of dribbling and pace and have a quick step plus. That's actually a really unique evo for 50,000 coins, and you can tell a lot of people are doing these cards because guess what's going up on the market? Guys, we haven't had evo cards moving on the market that much recently, but here we are. This Vitinha card is one of the most hyped from this evo because of his stats and because of how good Vitinha is in this game. He was 50,000 coins yesterday. The bro is now max price at 95,000. Same thing with a card like the Rodri, even like the Fantasy Guti SBC if you still have that laying around. Thunderstruck Vieira, Andre Santos team of the season, and of course some other really good chains out there are being created with this evo. So for 50,000 coins, it's not the worst one ever. It's kind of unique and is creating some fun cards. That's a GG. Also, one thing I will say, two things actually that I don't like about this evo. It caps you at 96 ratings. That's a very high rating. It's going to be tough to it's very difficult to evo that card in the future now for sure. And it stops you at 3 playstyle pluses. So maybe it's one like that Conte. If you would put him in this, then give him long ball plus from the season pass, which I think he would still fit because how many regular playstyles does he have? He's got 3, 6, 7. So yeah, he would still fit that playstyle plus evolution for like long ball. That could be a pretty good evo there. Maybe that's how you use that evolution to create a nice center defensive mid that is pretty unique. So not a bad evo, not amazing, but the way that I see it now, it's a decent one. Let's go to SBCs where we have another kind of decent one. Roberto Baggio. It's not the big icon player SBC that a lot of us were wanting to see. We're still after that elusive, grindable, big time player SBC, but it's an interesting one at the very least as well. And if you just want to try him out as a lone card, it's only an 82 rated squad. I always will say do that first before diving into the SBC here. 5-5, good playstyle plus. He's got 3 of them. One playstyle plus with Trickster plus that you'd be fine if it was just the base, and maybe if they would have given him a quick step or a rapid plus instead of that, would have liked it a bit better. But he always has a very unique body type and build in game, and he has very good stats. So for 360,000 coins and 9 squads, would he be this much on the market? Is he worth doing? If you want to use Baggio, I'd say yes. For the rest of everybody else, probably not, because he would be cheaper on the market. But one thing I want to note about this SBC is the squad they're requiring here. You've got 192 and 2 91 rated squads. If EA do ever release a big time player like an SBC like the Eto that we were talking about, or a Greats of the Game card that would be like an expensive icon that we would grind towards, it's going to require a lot of 91 and 92 squads because everything else fodder is on the floor. And if EA is going to get some value to that SBC and make it like actually be like 1,000,000 coins, just be prepared for a lot of squads and a lot of high rated squads, which could be very annoying. But then again, we do have the exchanges, and it would be hopefully more craftable with more cards in packs, which we're going to talk about that today. There are more cards coming to packs other than shapeshifters, it seems, this Friday, but it's not greats of the game. Anyways, before we get there, we do have a 92 plus 1 of 3 TOTS or shapeshifters player pick that was dropped yesterday as well. This is a fun one. It's an 87 rated squad and a team of the week or a team of the season. Don't expect to get much from that, but I say it's a fun one just because honestly, anytime you get a player pick SBC like that, it is a bit of fun just to rip it and see what you can get. Now, since that required a team of the week or a team of the season cards ever so slightly inching up. They were almost 19,000 coins yesterday at the peak around content drop time. If you have TOTS cards in your club, if you invested, it's time to sell. However, our plan of investing in team of the season cards tomorrow has just changed because EA has changed the expiration date on the 91 plus TOTS tradable upgrade pack. Guys, when this was dropped last week, I could have sworn that it said like 27 days left for when it expired, and the refresh counter was every week on Thursday. Now it says that the SBC itself is expiring tomorrow, and that's an interesting change. Either EA, there's something wrong with this pack, or they don't like the requirements, or something with this is up to make them change the expiration date on it. So we're gonna have to watch out for that. I do expect it to come back out tomorrow, and I think you still want to sell TOTS cards today because of that. But for an investment opportunity and see TOTS cards drop on the market, we need that SBC for them to get supplied. So we're not going to buy TOTS unless that one comes back. We'll be watching that one very close tomorrow. But just a quick word on the rest of the fodder market as well. If you ended up buying fodder on Friday night when we were talking about it, or early Saturday, you saw prices during the week and you're like, oh no, they're going back down. Well, they're actually going back up with that 92 plus SBC and maybe the other pack SBC it's expected to drop today. Fodder should be rising a little bit until Rivals Rewards. So if you do have some here that you invested in, 87s, 88s, or 89s, probably a decent time to take the cash on those, but they are up just a little bit. So that was all the content from yesterday and some of the interesting things along with it. The most interesting thing to discuss right now on this game is actually what is coming in next year's game, which is only, 3 months away, less than 3 months away now. FC26 Icon Leaks. Let's get right into it, guys. I'm sure a lot of you, as we mentioned, have seen this list of players already, but what we haven't talked about, or what most people haven't talked about, is why this class of icons is so big. 12 new icons coming with one kind of at large for right now, and it's one of the biggest names not on this list. We'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, what an insane list of players. Zlatan, Iniesta, Marcelo, Toni Kroos, Chiellini, so many players that the community has wanted to see back in Ultimate Team. Here they are. Incredible stuff, honestly. So hyped to see all these players get added back in. And just to think about being able to use Marcelo, getting to use Zlatan. For me specifically, Zlatan's such a massive player for just the history of my fandom and my love for the sport of football. He was one of those first guys that I watched and really loved, especially wanting to use an Ultimate Team as well. Just love this list of players. Sure, there's some that I don't know about, and I'm sure there's going to be some of them that don't end up being that good in game, but it's just a great list. Now, these stats and these ratings, speaking of how good they'll be in game, are all predictions except for Zlatan. So just don't be worried if you see, wait, Chiellini is an 89. Why is Oliver Kahn a 91 or Alex Morgan a 91? Comparing the ratings, don't get too much into that yet. However, this is allegedly the official Zlatan Ibrahimovic icon card for FC26. 91 rated with 94 shooting, power shot plus, and 84 pace. That's kind of a big deal for Zlatan because a lot of his older cards from previous FIFAs were pretty slow. As long as he has 5-star skills and a 4-star weak foot, this is going to be an absolutely insane card. Might be the most expensive out of this team. Actually, probably will be the most expensive out of this entire team of players here. The thing that's so crazy about Zlatan is he's so outspoken against EA and their rights. This is back from 2020 when he was so mad at EA, tweeting about how they were using him in the game, but they didn't buy it from him. Who did they buy it from? How did they have the rights to use his image in game? This is the legit tweet. This is not like a doctored image or anything. This is legit. So I don't know what happened with Zlatan. Into retirement, maybe he made the decision then. Maybe EA came with a bag and they're like, yo, we can put you in the game, and Zlatan agreed to it. Then I don't know. But it's just crazy to have him back in the game after having kind of a weird end to his time in Ultimate Team, not getting an end of an era card back in FIFA 22 or 23 when we were really looking forward to it when he was retiring. So for Zlatan, that's pretty crazy there. The rest of this team, there's going to be some probably hidden gems like Boom Kun Cha, the Korean striker here. Just want to point him out for a quick second because you guys maybe, if you played back in like FIFA 14 and earlier, would recognize his name for being in the Classic 11 squad. Here, allegedly, he was pretty good back then as well in this game. So really interested to see how his card turns out in terms of the stats and in-game. Once again, just got to be careful with these stats and believing, them to be what they'll actually be because, of course, they are predictions right now at the moment. So that's a great team. I absolutely freaking love it. But there's still one card that we don't know for sure about. And this would make it the greatest icon class ever if Arjen Robben is added in. This guy, Detective Foot, who's had a lot of the leaks for FC26 so far, is saying that he's being tested. And with icons being tested, you never know what that really means. If he's being tested, then EA have the rights, right? I'm sure there's a lot that has to go into it that we don't even know about on the back end side of things. But if Arjen Robben is added to this list of players, hands down the best icon class added to a new Ultimate Team ever. Insane. So we're watching out for that. Watch out for more leaks on Arjen Robben. But back to what I want to dive into here with this team. Why is this team so large? Last year in FC25, or this year, we had 8 new icons added at the start of the year, and then we had a 9th with Maradona added later on. Does this have something to do with the pre-order bonuses? Yes. Track with me here. We are all getting an icon untradeable from launch. We've talked about this for the pre-order of FC26, and having these icons in here definitely helps EA sell pre-orders. We're not glazing over that. But first thing I want to mention with this is it doesn't say that it's going to be any icon. And in fact, if you take a look at the card designs that we have looked at recently, there's a specific card design for the base and the upgraded version of the pre-order icons that we're going to get for pre-ordering FC26. And that might seem familiar because it happened in FC25. Remember, at the very start of the game, we had these prime heroes, or the origin heroes they were called, and they got upgraded with a different card design with some added stuff around an added dynamic image later on in the year. But these are the cards that we got from our pre-order bonus in FC25, and these were all brand new heroes added to FC25. The Hazard, the Carragher, the Jap Stam, and Yaya Toure was the only returning one, but he was a part of this. All the other heroes were brand new. Would it be possible that our pre-order icon pack and our pre-order icon situation here would be these cards only and not all icons on the game? That could be crazy, and that once again would be a way that EA would get a lot of people to pre-order the game if that were to be the case. So that is not confirmed right now, but that's just me getting the wheels turning a bit because of how big this icon class is and because of the pre-order reward leaks, the card design, and how EA did it last year. So just put that up there. Remember that. We'll wait for some more official leaks and news from EA and maybe even the leakers to confirm or deny that as we get closer to the start of FC26. Let me know in the comments what icon you're most excited for and what you're the most excited for to see with those players getting released. I do want to cover a couple more quick FC26 leaks here from yesterday. Jude Bellingham is once again the cover star player. EA tweeted about this last week too, making it sound like they were going to choose a different player. It's Jude Bellingham once again. Okay, probably had him signed to a multi-year deal for the contract of being on the cover anyway. It is what it is. But this one's cool. And maybe one of the reasons why Oliver Kahn is in FC26 is that Bayern Munich has signed a deal with EA Sports. So the Allianz Arena and official licensed Bayern stuff is going to be in the game now. Because before they had a deal with eFootball PES. So like Allianz Arena and a lot of the players, maybe some of the icons as well, as we're maybe seeing with Robben and with Oliver Kahn, weren't in FC 25 or earlier. So that's kind of a big deal there. If you're a Bayern fan, that's really, really cool to see. So that's everything related to the FC 26 leaks that I want to discuss right now. Let's turn it back to FC 25 really quick and look at the market for Shapeshifters Team 2 and the content that is coming today. And we have one more leak about Shapeshifters coming this Friday I believe, based on how the leak is worded, that we have to discuss. First of all, the market. Guys, get out there and get trading because prices just continue to fluctuate. I literally just bought a hazard for 1.38 and I sold them for 1.55. This guy is moving crazy in price. These shapeshifters, the Team 2 cards and the Team 1 cards, continue to move crazy in price. I would just say, once again, be careful if you have a Team 2 shapeshifter because they're probably going to go down in price with rewards, but they're still great to trade with. Same thing with anything else that is out of packs. Get on the bids. You guys know what I've been saying there. And I got to go through and sell some more cards from my club because I sold 3 Hawks yesterday. I'll definitely want to sell those before Rivals Rewards. There's free coins in consumables, specifically the chem styles, in our clubs right now. Now let's talk about Shapeshifters content today on Wednesday. Did I say Thursday earlier? I meant to say Wednesday if I did. First things first, Wednesdays have been guaranteed pack SBC days during Ultimate Team of the Season, and even last week of Shapeshifters, the first team. We had a guaranteed pack on Wednesday. Today, probably getting the same thing for Team 2. Note though, it says excluding icons. That would be super exciting if Cruyff and Dino were a part of this, but they're not going to be. Should be a pretty cheap SBC, but might require a team of the season and could make some of that fodder, like we mentioned, go up just a little bit more. Could be a good time to sell those cards today on this game with the Shapeshifters Team 2 pack probably coming out. Now, speaking of other leaks here, we do have another Italian SBC incoming. We had Baggio first. Looks like we could be getting Spinazzola today. He's got Incisive Bruiser Anticipate with 99 pace as a CDM. That's actually a pretty good looking card. Would need a 4th playstyle plus, you'd imagine, but that could be a fun cheap SBC if released at the right price. Also, there's a Dutch SBC still out there as well, according to Donk, but it must not be that good if he's not tweeting about it right now. So Wednesday content today, the normal refresh of the 87 plus pick, the 84 times 10, and then those 2 things that we just mentioned. But I want to look ahead to Friday really quick because we've been talking a little bit about what Shapeshifters Week 3 might be bringing, and there's been some added discussion to that. Allegedly, the Women's Euro Path to Glory cards are coming into packs, maybe this Friday, if they're already being leaked like this. ASY Foot has the whole team, allegedly, with Guduraitin, Rolfo, Gioro, Salma Parluello, some pretty big names in here of cards that have had Team of the Seasons or other very meta cards in previous iterations of promos in this game, like Irene Paredes. Hard Dare had that really insane Team of the Season card that could be good. Leah Schuler, we pack her as an 86 rated all the time. So there's a nice team here of women's PTG players that are coming into packs, and that makes me feel like it would be this Friday with Shapeshifters Team 3. So be on the lookout for more leaks related to Shapeshifters Team 3, the actual Shapeshifters cards, and then those women PTG cards as the Women's Euros is starting up pretty soon. That would make sense. Those are PTG live cards that would be live and upgrading based on how those women's nations perform in the Euros. So I'm not expecting a big day of content today. Maybe there's a last minute Evo, but watch out for more FC26 leaks and news. We are in that time of the year where it seems to be information central and all that stuff related to FC26 is starting to come out. So we will cover it here as soon as we see it. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you guys watching the vids. I will see you in a stream today. Have a great Wednesday. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.